This is how I got 50,000 subscribers on YouTube in less than 50 days. So here's the thing. I was thinking about this honestly because I'm just trying to think about it myself. I've hit a major plateau in my growth. And so I'm trying to figure out, reverse engineer, I guess, a little bit of what I did right and see how I can leverage that and, use it again moving forward. So anyways, the first thing was that I focused in on being authentic and telling stories. So it's two different things in one here, but storytelling is massive. And so in the beginning, I literally was just like telling stories about my life and or things that I thought would be important or helpful to people. And those videos didn't take off. I'll talk about what I did second that made all of that part relevant. But like telling stories is just how our brains are wired to pay attention. Like when you start telling a story, people start paying attention. And I learned that there's kind of this arc to stories. There's like the hero's journey. Essentially, like someone embarks on a journey, they have a mission, and then something goes wrong on the way, and then they find a mentor or a guide, and then they triumph and get to their goal. That's kind of the thing. It's not exactly that. So you can look up the hero's journey to get a full picture of what that looks like. But also you kind of loop back and forth if you want to continue the story between like, goal, challenge, triumph, challenge, triumph type thing. And so I kind of just was practicing that over and over again. And I wasn't just using that formula, to be fair. Like I was really just trying to tell stories in general and have just been working on that ever since. Now, this is where I've gone wrong because I've kind of veered away from that. And I've noticed that a lot of my videos aren't doing as well. And most of the time, you can really still work a story into highly informative content. And the Bond video that I did in the beginning, I think I did a pretty good job with that. And it was part of why that video did really well. It's like, even if it's highly informative content, you can still tell a story. And when you mix telling a story with highly informative content, which is point number 2, you can get massive success on YouTube. So anyways, number 2 is highly informative content and also riding the trends. So the first thing that I tried to do was I tried to make a video about the United States bombing Iran. And at that time, it was the first video that got like 50 views or something. But it didn't actually take off. And there was a lot of reasons for that. And but later I did a video about the big beautiful bill, and that one took off. And the reason it actually took off from what I can look at in retrospect is because it was highly informative in a very short period of time. I took something that you could take 10, 20, 30 minutes trying to break down, and I compressed it into a 5.5 minute long video. And that video ended up getting 150,000 views. Mind you, this is like the first couple of weeks of me being on YouTube. And it got a lot of subscribers. So the thing that was unique about that video is that it got me about like a 4.5% subscriber rate. So what I've noticed so far is that anything over 3% is pretty much going to be like YouTube's going to continue to feed your content if more than 3% of people are subscribing to your channel from that piece of content. That's like on the low end. I've gotten up to, that one was at like 4.5%. And then I had another one that was at like 6.5%. And, at the end of the day, it's not the only metric. The real metric that YouTube is looking for is what they call viewer satisfaction. And they use a lot of different ways to measure that. One of them is like how much of the video do they actually watch? And that's the beauty of having a short video that's packed with a lot of information, because they're going to watch it until the end. And in that situation, YouTube is going to feed them. They're going to feed people more of your content when they watch until the end, and then they click onto your other videos. That is a huge sign to YouTube that they have been satisfied with the content that you've given them. They look at likes, they look at comments. I don't know what the actual algorithm says, but those things really matter. So the first thing, storytelling and being authentic. The second thing was making highly informative content and keeping up with the trends. So talk about what's popping. When you weave those two things together, quite frankly, you can make some magic happen. And that was another thing about that video that I didn't say. The Big Beautiful Bill video was like, I wasn't trying to per se, but I was like it was very narrative driven. But I only realized this in retrospect, and the fact that everyone just kind of ate it up, that it was like, like people were there for the narrative more than the information. But when they get the narrative and the information, quite frankly, it just clicks, and people will engage with your content. Okay, the third thing was just being relentlessly consistent, which we've already talked about. I'm not going to tell you the story again, but I would sit down and make 3 to 5 videos in a day, and I had them all ready to go, ready lined up. And that way I was getting feedback really quickly on what was working and what wasn't. So those are the 3 things that I think that I used rather to blow up my YouTube channel, blow it up. Let me calm down. How I got 50,000 subscribers in 50 days. We're sitting at 70K today. I just passed, which is great. But it has slowed down a lot. And so I'm having to look back at what are the things that worked, what are the things that are not working, and also how do I make sure that I'm staying aligned with the things that I actually want to do. I think we'll talk more about some more of the mistakes that I made, not just from the business perspective, but also from the YouTube and personal perspective next. So if you haven't already, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.